So it's been about 2 weeks. I wanted to do weekly. I guess this is a win every 2 weeks. So I guess I sort of want to talk about what I want to talk about on this channel. As a lot of you know, some of you may know, the last 6 months have been exceedingly difficult for me. We found out about 1.5 years ago that I have fibromyalgia, and in hindsight, I'm pretty sure that I've had fibromyalgia for at least 30 years. And so right now, this whole channel is about a jaded, learning disabled, menopausal, mom of 4 in the middle of a midlife crisis, in the middle of coronavirus, in the middle of whatever this last 5 years has been politically. I am one jaded bitch. And I guess there's a lot of things on my mind right now. There was a post that came across my Facebook feed the other day. And it asked, are there any redeeming factors to whiteness? Is there anything good about being white? Does whiteness have any redeeming features? And I would have to say that I think whiteness is not a way that is useful for me to identify as. That's not something I can change. So asking if there's redeeming features about it feels hurtful. Which, I mean, I get it. White people were asking if there were any redeeming features to being black. So how the fuck I think white people thought that they would, that it would not end up here, I don't even know. Racism hurts everybody. Even white people. I was kidnapped when I was 6. My brother was 2. My mom was probably 26. My dad was 30. So young. And for reasons unbeknownst to me, I'd have to discuss with my mother. We moved into low-income housing. And the other people who were already in the low-income housing were pretty certain that we didn't belong there. The one big thing I remember being told is that we were clearly not poor because my mother had nice things on the walls. So one Sunday afternoon, about this time of year, my brother, 2 and still in diapers, and a family friend, a little older. I don't remember if he was still in diapers or not. He must have been. And me, 6, we're all out in the yard, the playground right outside our door. And these girls came by, and I don't remember what happened, but they ended up promising us candy, and we went with them. And they walked us all over the neighborhood. They walked us, it had to have been at least 2 miles, and we ended up about a mile as the crow flies from our house at a Votech college, and they took us around to one of the more industrial buildings, and there was an exterior basement egress that you had to walk down into. And so they took us down there, and they threatened the 3 of us that if we came up, somebody would hurt us, that they would be there waiting, that we weren't allowed to come up. So the boys didn't want to go up. So I hollered and screamed and made them come up with me, and I walked us all home. And I don't remember much after that. Now you have to understand, I've always known this story. But I didn't really understand how much that experience impacted me. I knew why we were being kidnapped, because we were being told why they were taking us. They were messing with us to mess with my parents. They were messing with us because we didn't belong there and they didn't like us. Really and truly, they were messing with us because I was white. Because I was a little white girl that was vulnerable. And that narrative continued after we moved into the house my parents, I grew up in. It's the house my parents bought. And I would walk to school. It was about 6 blocks to school. And again, regularly be harassed and bullied. I was the little white girl in the neighborhood. And I didn't fit. And that was hard. Never really felt angry at those girls. I don't know why. I know my mom's very angry, and I just can't even imagine as a parent how terrified she must have been. They did call the cops. There was nothing the cops could or would do. Remember, this was 1973. I can't see how it ever works to marginalize one group of people, because once you start doing that, then you inherently become marginalized. Like, it creates marginalization. Which comes back to, let's talk about being a menopausal woman going through a midlife crisis. During menopause, dealing with major depression and fibromyalgia, burnout in some ways, and the way we treat people, that if they aren't producing something, they're not worth anything. I've got a lot of things to say. Surprisingly, while I'm not saying much today, I want to have fun. I want to show you the fun stuff I bought. I want to do some unboxings. I want to experiment with makeup. One of the first things I did last fall to start trying to get better is I hired a stylist. And so it's been this little journey of self-care, starting with the stylist, and then this winter and spring, I really started delving into skincare. I've always wanted to be able to do my makeup, and I've never been able to do it well. And so I sort of want to play with that too. So some of this is just how I'm dealing with this midlife crisis bullshit. Also, I don't see a lot of other 53-year-old women on YouTube talking about things from the perspective of a mature woman. I worry about the soap opera-ness that goes on YouTube, and it almost seems to be a microcosm of, of course that makes sense, of what you see playing out politically on a worldwide basis. Stans are just, terrorists of a different nature. And terrorists and stans are just looking for a place to belong. in a world where belonging is really, really, really hard to find. So, I'm creating this space, I guess, where I belong. I'd love to have your input and have you come along with me. I don't really think Reinventing Carrie is a good name. I need some help on the name. Oh, if you've lasted this long, will you subscribe and like, and then you'll get my comments, and maybe I can kind of grow this channel, and you know, subscribing also really encourages me to post more. And this is part of the reason this group has come into being is a class I took that really pushed me to ask for help from my social group. And yeah, you all said, yeah, you were into helping with that. So I really appreciate you being here for me, listening to me. Please tell me if you have some ideas. Reinventing Carrie, I don't like. Jaded ass crone. Sounds a whole lot better. Let me know what you think of a name. Yeah. I gotta try and post a little more often. Come up with some ideas that'll be fun to talk about. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys later.